As the captain of accountability, I find, police officers quite silly, lawyers, judges quite silly, politicians quite silly. I mean, they don't have power over me because they don't have power over their own abilities to partake in accountability as a concept. They can't access their brain's higher functions, they can't problem solve, they can't adapt, they can't self-assess. They can't even care about themselves enough to admit this, much less, partake in a human standard type conversation with me. So I am being avoided. One girl I don't think would avoid me is this one. And I'm super, super jealous of her who lives alone and with a monkey.
I think policemen are the bestest fun next to rhubarb pie.
Are you the Pippi Longstocking?
Who should I be, you think? The Kazarn of Abyssinia, huh?
See here, don't be so fresh. We're coming here because we are sent by Miss Brasilius.
We're here to bring you to the children's home.
Yeah.
When the Prince Lizzie wants to have a kid, she'll have to get another. No, not me.
Halt there! Here now, Pippi Longstocking, don't be such a dumbbell.
Tell that Prince Lizzie I won't go. She can forget me.
Now, Clang, that must be handled quite differently. I'll go this way, you go that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, adults are brilliant. One goes this way, the other goes the other way. Calling the kid a dumbbell. Yeah, I don't think she is compared to them, but anyways, I haven't watched the entire movie yet, and I've only watched it as a kid in French, and of course, English is not the original language either. Greta is as strong as this, and a lot of young people today, let's say petitioning, let's say at Columbia University, are as strong as Greta, but they're not strong in the sense of lifting a horse. They're strong in the sense that they have the courage to do what's right when it's obvious what is right and what is wrong. So they don't suffer all that much from, a variety of human domestication syndrome. And what makes the adults, like authority figures, extremely weak is they are addicts within a failed and acceleratingly failing system of proto-societies that they live in. So they're pretty pathetic in that way.
Hey, hello. Where are you going?
Look here, Pip.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I send emails to BC Ombudsperson, BC Human Rights Tribunal, the RCMP, the ministers, MLAs, premiers. And I'm saying, where are you going? Why are you speeding up your own nonsense and heading for the Anthropocene at the, sad consequences of your kids living through even more hardships? It's pretty sad.
Don't be such a horrible dummy. The children's home will be so nice.
Yeah, and from there you can go to school every day with the other children.
Isn't that nice?
Silly, why should I?
So that you learn reading and arithmetic, multiplication, and many, many things more.
Well, unfortunately, they're not going to teach the right things. I've traveled the world, and I'm not saying language isn't important or mathematics isn't important, but I mean, most of the educators I've seen, they're not that good at it, and they're doing it with a frustration because they're caught up in these failing systems, so they don't particularly enjoy learning or role modeling what a lifelong learner would be like. And therefore, they're kind of failing. They're mostly going into the control that comes with domestication syndromes, which is what my theory talks about. So traveling the world, as I said before, I've never really seen a school. And I've worked in schools, often just as a volunteer, in multiple provinces and of Canada, and also in multiple countries of the world. And I can tell you, I've never found an education center. I've found only domestication centers. So, but what you need to teach your kids is what I've been telling you. It's about the Earth system sciences, developing an ecocentric worldview, life skills, properly defined, such as Saskatchewan New Start model, and a bunch of other things to unlearn too. Like, for example, life is not about competition. It's majoritively about collaboration, cooperation, synergy, symbiosis. And it's not about these paradigms of competition. Now, how about this becomes quickly a vlog for Earth Day where I say that two topics are pretty sad, and I'll make a part 2 about the other one. But one thing is that, drinking water was available on Earth for all land mammals without needing filters more and more than we do now. Now you need to build filters to breathe your air more and more, to drink any water more and more, and you continue to do the things that require you to have filters for all these things. Now, of course, what you do is toxic and it benefits the elites mostly. So you would think the elites would pay for the filters for everybody on Earth that are being more and more poisoned, but they don't. And they won't even do restitutions for climate issues for countries or nations or cultures or communities that are suffering more. So, and again, I've demonstrated that even the basic concept of recycling isn't done properly, and you can watch your own documentaries on that. And also, just filters, just the concept of filtering water will never be done with equality for everybody. So again, you are a failed culture, people, primates, species, where you have believed more and more in unnatural paradigms. Like the magical money is an unnatural paradigm. It's not part of the natural world. The supernatural, like religions, not part of the natural world. Everything like this has made you sicker and sicker in the head, and therefore you kind of don't even know how you are poisoning yourselves, the natural world, for your own kids and for others. So what I'm going to say in the next part 2 of this Earth Day one, and I think I'm going to post both on the same day. This one is a little bit more about Pippi Longstocking, but the other one will be more about the concept of tribes. Okay, and I'll explain the only tribe that I would accept that I belong to. And it's not even the top one, and it's definitely not one that you are anywhere near capable of accepting you should belong to if you want to stop poisoning the natural world where your own children, grandchildren, ancestors, descendants, will be inheriting. So, a place where they'll actually need water and air. And you're making it that, there might not even be filters that can actually take everything that's bad for them out of this water and air. And you're accelerating this. And in part 2, you'll see the subject of tribes will explain a lot on how these primitive concept and ideologies, which are no better than this monkey that can cohabitate happily with Pippi, can succeed at. So you can't even succeed at the concept of moving away from tribes so that you can even acknowledge how, even if there's one tribe and it wins, you're going to inherit an unlivable planet. And partly it's all these failed domestication syndromes, such as the one of tribes that I'll discuss in part 2.
Come quick, perhaps we can save her.
Yes, the poor child.
Oh yeah, you need to save this poor child.
Where's the ladder?
Look, Clang, she's down there.
What? Yes, she's alive.
Come back. Pippi, bring
Come on.
the ladder back.
Yeah, bring the ladder back.
Why are you so mad at me? I thought this was such a nice game.
What are you doing?
Police don't play games. We'll show you what games we're playing.
What then? Why don't you come on down?
Let go of the ladder now, I say, kid.
You must say pretty please then.
Oh.
Just say pretty please. Or you can stay up there forever.
Yes, well, Pippi, set the ladder back this minute, please.
Okay, so this is a really old story, by the way. Okay, you're looking at about 50 years old. And back then, it was imaginable for a responsible adult to be able to role models saying pretty please, okay? But today, when, let's say, Columbia University students protest, hey, we kind of don't want our university to support in, let's say, their investments, companies that build and ship, and sell weapons to our own governments that go kill innocent children somewhere else, that will never, even if they survive, have a chance at a reasonable life with any type of basic needs being met or human rights not being violated. So they are Pippies, except that there's no pretty please say, okay, we will change this. Can you pretty please now, go back to school? And we can't even find adults like this today that can swallow their pride and admit, okay, we're part of this domestication. We think this is what we're supposed to do. We see evidence she can take care of herself, and yet we're ignoring it. We can't see it. We're in denial about it. It's like, out. So yeah, it's kind of sad that there's no more adults that can even do this now today. So instead, what adults do is they punish these students who are role models, great leaders, who would be getting scholarships if it wasn't for their need to protest for the sake of others, that these failed people primates adults are forcing onto them as, participants, even though it's indirectly.